is heading back again. Rams win it, and on to Super Bowl 53 they go.
Sour grapes from Trave Kelce or a legitimate overtime beef? My name is Mike Petraglia here on the streets of Atlanta, live for Super Bowl 53, alongside Evan Lazar and Alex Barth. All right, Trave Kelce goes on 98.5, the Sports Hub. Felger and Maz, and says, you know the reason why the Patriots won in overtime? It's because they won the coin flip.
It's kind of funny how everyone in America wanted to see Patrick Mahomes be a legend in that moment. And I think it's definitely going to lead to some questions throughout the NFL on whether or not they should change playoff overtime.
Well, do you feel like you lost on a coin flip?
Yes.
He has a beef. Do you think it's legitimate, Evan?
I think his other beef that we'll get to in a second, I'm sure, about the Patriots holding him all up and down the field is more legitimate than this one. I mean, really, what it boils down to, the defense had 3 third-down plays. I know we keep on saying the same
thing. Third and 10.
Third and 10, three straight times. Make a stop. The defense plays football, too. It's not all about offense. This isn't Madden. This isn't fantasy football. Defense counts, too. Get your defense in order, Trave Kelce. I know that's not your role, but your team needs to get the defense in order, and then we're having a different conversation. Maybe you get off the field and your boy Patrick Mahomes and you get another chance, but after, you had, 3 catches for 20 yards, I'm not so sure it would have gone well.
I got to tell you, one suggestion I've heard and I like is the fact that perhaps maybe we go with a 10-minute overtime straight, play 10 minutes. Bill Belichick has, in the past, really supported that idea and hinted that he supports that idea that, sudden death in overtime when both defenses may be gassed isn't a true reflection. Another 10-minute period, I think, is a legitimate idea.
Well, you know why Bill Belichick suggested that? Because the way he builds his teams and what he can do, he'll go for a 9-minute, 57-second drive and kick a field goal, and the other team still won't see the ball. That doesn't necessarily fix Trave Kelce's issue. If anything, it exasperates what Evan said. Your defense has to play too. So, while that may work, the whole thing that's come out of this is both teams should see the ball. In theory, that fixes it, but when you put Belichick out there, it won't.
All right, this Patriots Super Bowl report here from Atlanta is brought to you by the great folks at betonline.ag. Go to clnsmedia.com/win and use the promo code CLNS50 for a 50% sign-up bonus. Again, that's betonline.ag. Go to clnsmedia.com/win and use the promo code CLNS50. All right, I think for overtime, I am not in favor of watching the NFL do what the college does, and that is 25, even 35, 40-yard line.
Anything. It wouldn't even solve anything.
Well, it solves both teams getting the ball.
Right, it solves both, but it solves that, but statistically speaking, it's not going to solve the problem, right? The team that goes second is now going to have the advantage over the team that goes first.
You need to remember, statistically, there is no problem. The team that wins the coin flip in the NFL
in the regular
wins 52%
season.
of the time.
The issue is in the postseason. The last 8 postseason, since they changed the field goal rule to a touchdown, the last 8 teams to make it to overtime that got the ball to start the game, win the game. 7 of them win. The only one that has lost is Drew Brees and the Saints. Ironically, on the same day that the Chiefs and the Patriots had their matchup in overtime. So I just think that the college style doesn't solve anything. The 10-minute style is way closer, I think, to a solution. But at the end of the day, the game has to end eventually, and it's a very physical game of football is obviously. So having these guys play, especially in the regular season, a whole another 10-minute quarter, I think is a little bit much. If you want to make that the rule in the postseason, that's one thing.
Right, and look, I know it's a different sport, and I know different circumstances. Stanley Cup playoffs are a great spectacle, and that is sudden death overtime, and there's nothing more exciting in the world in playoffs than Stanley Cup overtime hockey. I don't think it's a big deal. I think Trave Kelce is obviously frustrated that his defense couldn't get a stop.
His team lost. I mean,
in
let's
overtime.
be honest.
Sore loser.
And I think that the holding thing that he talked about with Felger and Maz, where he said the Patriots are holding them all up and down the field, is way more legitimate than the overtime rules. The Patriots have played some really aggressive man coverage, both against the Chargers and the Chiefs. Phillip Rivers was complaining the entire game against the Chargers that the Patriots were mugging the receivers down the field. They know, and they've kind of gamed the system a little bit here, that the refs aren't going to throw the flag on every single down, right? They're not going to throw 50 holding penalties against them. So the 2 or 3 holding calls that they do get in the game, it's worth it for the times that they don't get penalized for it, and they're able to stop the team on the other side of the ball.
All right, the Patriots won, obviously, the only overtime in Super Bowl history, Super Bowl 51. They won.
I can't handle another overtime in a Super Bowl.
I don't know.
That's not
shootout possible, but anyway, Patriots won that overtime game, obviously, 2 years ago. Be curious to see if the Patriots' luck continues if we get another overtime this Super Bowl around. Outside Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in downtown Atlanta, live from Super Bowl 53. For Evan Lazar and Alex Barth, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.